How are you doing? I really would love to know actually how you are doing. I believe it's very important for us to talk about how we are and also to listen to other people how they are. And whenever they are having the courage to share with us how they are, that we're listening. So today I want to share with you my thoughts and my experience around the quality of relationships. What is in fact influencing the quality of relationships? What can we do to level it up? How can we communicate better in our relationships? And also, of course, how does shame block us all the way every time? So, welcome to another weekly mind setting session. I want to keep this brief. You know me, it's going to be like around 10 to 12 minutes. I really hope that you are having the time to sit in. If not, no worries. And at the end, please do share with me what you think about what we have talked, and maybe you have a different opinion. So let us jump right in. The first question that I have prepared for today is the quality of our relationships. What is actually affecting us in the quality of our relationships? What do you believe is important for you to have a successful and happy relationship? Do you have a relationship? Is that something you do? Let's say you are at work, or maybe let's say you have a family. You are in a relationship, of course. What defines the quality of it, however? I would really love to understand that. Let's see. If I am able to communicate effectively what is important to me, and if I am able to respect what is important to someone else, then that is effectively very, very important to level up our relationships right there and then. So, what do you think? How are you communicating in your relationships? Have you ever considered to change your ways of communicating? Did you ever notice that your relationship is maybe stuck? That maybe you're always disputing about the very same thing, or say like you're in a working environment, and the difficulty now is that the person who you work with, maybe your boss or your coworker, just does not behave the way that you want them to do, so that you can finish your deadline quicker. Or maybe you'd like to have the raise that you deserve for such a long time already, and your boss just never sees your worth. Those are our relationships, and it does not actually matter from a biological standpoint of view if I'm working with someone or if this person is my family. From a biological standpoint of view, our bodies do always relate in the same ways. They feel each other, they listen to each other, they are sending the same kind of nonverbal and verbal communicational patterns to each other. It's always the same. It does not matter whether it's your family, whether it's your spouse, whether it's your, maybe it's your partner, maybe your son, your daughter, or it's your boss or your coworker. Your body always relates the same way to every other body. The only thing that changes is up here, our mind. And so let's check in really quick how we can change that. Say, like, for instance, you're at work again, and the relationship toward your coworkers or to your boss is very stuck. You feel like you're just in this kind of conflict situation every single time you go to work. How can you change that? I want you to think about it really quick before I'm dropping my thoughts in there. How can you change that? Why would it be so important for you to change that? That's where it starts. Find a reason why you actually want to change your behavior first. You see, like, I can never actually change someone else's behavior. I can try and influence them. I can try and talk to them, or change the environment around them, but I cannot actually change how they are behaving. I can only ever change how I am behaving. So if I really want to get unstuck my relationships and the people that I am working with or living with, I have to change my my behavior first. You remember, like, a couple of weeks ago, I've been talking about the relationship to money and how this relates to our emotional intelligence. When I realize that I am afraid, that I'm angry in a relationship, for instance, or I feel afraid that the person that I am relating to, that I am in contact with, is intimidating me. To note that is the very first step. I want to acknowledge how I feel in any kind of relationship. Because once I understand how I feel, once I can respect and acknowledge how I feel, I can then finally also take influence on that, because I can If I'm trying to manipulate someone else, this person will feed it out. They will smell it. So that's the big problem we are facing usually in our society. We always try to influence something outside of us. Always. In our society, this is the main go-to to change what we experience. We're trying to manipulate whatever we find around us instead of how we are reacting to what is around us. And so when I am having a partner, and I am very happy to have one, and I'm very, very grateful for her adaptability, the way that she is adapting to my behavior, I also want to practice that. I want to see how can I change the way that I am relating to her. How can I maybe not give her such a hard time, always trying to get some slot in my day where she gets my attention. But maybe I want to put her first a little bit more. Of course, I'm then very afraid that I'm not free enough, that I cannot just, do whatever I please because I have to regard her first. And see, that's exactly already where I am having my little patterns running haywire. So I have to be aware about my personal internal processes first before I can actually start to talk about other people's processes. If I know that I am a very negative person all the time, I always find the problems in my relationship or in whatever happens in my life, then I want to understand and acknowledge that this is my behavior first. I actually have a tendency to always find the problem around me instead of finding solutions. Acknowledging that is the first step that I want to take. Once I do that, I can start to take action to change and shift that. Okay, so I'm always finding problems, or okay, I'm always like sticking my head way too deep into my work, and then I forget about the people around me and forget how they might feel while I'm working so hard. So acknowledging that first, and then starting to openly acknowledge and share that with other people. Hey, listen, I know, I can imagine it's really hard for you to never really get a slot in my timetable during the day, in my schedule. And it must be very hefty for you sometimes to be my partner. And I appreciate you still sticking with me. I appreciate that. And so that already gives the other person such a feeling of being seen, of being understood. That's so important for us all. We want to feel seen. We want to feel understood first. And so me acknowledging my process to my partner, to my coworker, my boss even, really helps to level that relationship up on the spot, don't you think? Or maybe you're of a different opinion, and I would really love to learn what you think about it. Let's hop on to the next topic first, okay? Just so that I get my monologue done. How to communicate what we feel then. Communication is absolutely essential in our society and in any other society as well. If we cannot communicate effectively, people won't actually know what's happening in here and in here, down here as well. So how can I actually communicate how I feel? That's a riddle, isn't it? Because if I'm telling my partner, I'm very angry at you because you did that and that and that, and now I'm very angry, it's your fault. I'm already communicating how I feel. It just doesn't really help. So how can I change that? If I want to effectively communicate how I feel, I need to first understand what's the goal in me communicating how I feel in the first place. That goal needs to be that the other person understands and can help me relate more to what I feel and maybe heal that. Because if I'm angry and I feel the other person has made me angry, then it only means that this person has touched something in me. That's all. She triggered something. He triggered something. That's all it is. And so that's why I'm then starting to put the blame and put the finger point to someone else and say, like, you actually did that. It's your fault. Now I feel this way. And you have to take responsibility for how I feel. And now you have to change how I feel. That's very helpless. That's very sorry. If my goal then is that I have a communication where the other part can help me handle what I feel, and I'm starting to shoot with the guns before before anything else, how much do you think this person will help me? Not much, right? And I did that for years, and I still do it sometimes. It's a pattern. I practiced it. It's a habit. And sometimes I really curse it. I'm honest here. It's really, really frustrating when I recognize I'm so angry and my inherent pattern, my inherent habit to put the blame on everyone else is blocking the way that I'm experiencing a happy and fulfilling relationship. Wow, that's frustrating. So what can I do? It goes back to the thing that I said before. I need to acknowledge first what's happening inside in my system. If I recognize, "Ooh, this person has touched something," that's the very first step, right? For instance, I'm having a conversation with my employee, and my employee tries her best to really please me and make everything function. But in the process, I have forgotten to clarify a particular expectation that I had toward her doing. And because I did not clarify it, she could not anticipate it. And then I got angry and I felt as if she didn't care on what I do and how I feel. And I was aware enough, noticing that I'm frustrated. I'm getting really frustrated in that moment because I feel like I'm cutting everyone so much slack. I'm taking care of so many people throughout the day, and I love what I'm doing. I really enjoy it. It's a heart mission, how I like to say. But then I was tired, and it was evening, and I really was, done, and I didn't want to talk about this now. Just please anticipate what is important to me. Didn't I clarify it enough? And so I didn't. And writing the message to her, right? I noticed, wait, what are you doing? That was the necessary step. Wait. What are you doing? I am about to put the blame on someone else. I am about to shoot before I recognize my pattern. And so I deleted everything that I was about to write, and it was really, like, why can't you just do one thing once? Especially now that I have been so generous and whatever, blah blah blah. I also noticed how I was having a transactional relationship there, not a unconditional. I wasn't just giving. I was subconsciously at some point expecting some reward, some feedback. Oof. Those relationships tend to not last. And I'm very sure you know that, right? So I noticed in that very moment I was writing the message, oh, wait. That is not helping. And so I was taking a step back and noticed how frustrated I was. And I asked myself, why are you so frustrated? What's happened here? I mean, she didn't do anything wrong or anything. She actually just didn't do one particular thing. And so I recognized that I was very frustrated and I was very sorry at this moment because I recognized she couldn't do anything about it. And so what should I do now? Here's what I did. I'm not saying that this is the right thing, but here's what I did. I actually wrote to her what I feel. I feel frustrated. I feel unseen. I feel very angry, desperate a little bit because I don't know what to do. And I feel overwhelmed currently because I have such a huge workload to manage that I somehow feel like I don't know how to manage it alone now. And so I feel left alone. This is how I felt. And I just shared that with her, how I felt. Not her, say, her role in this whole theater, like in this whole charade, just what I felt. And then afterwards I told her, and see, my need was for somebody to support me, to anticipate what I need. And I know this is very unfair to accept, like to ask this of someone, which is why I apologize. But this is what my need was. And I felt it was not met, it was not respected. And then lastly, what I did is actually ask her, could you help me with this? I would really appreciate if you could help me. I would understand if you don't, but this is what I need right now. And you're the only person that I can ask right now. And this is how I addressed it. It came out very differently than what I expected because she still didn't have time. But it really helped me to verify, okay, so it actually works, because then we could actually sit together and talk about it and share what we thought. And that really helped. We actually created an incredible moment of bonding and of understanding where I was not just the boss. I was not just also a person who feels. And I recognized also that I again fell into this little of trying to be the all solver, the all knower, all the all able person to solve all problems and never be vulnerable and, not fail. So that was a huge learning. And when I was thinking about how to prepare for this session today, as it is very important for me to share as much knowledge as I can in a couple of minutes, I felt to share this story and how important it is to first acknowledge what I feel, what is touched in me, and to share this open and vulnerably. And I know it is very difficult, for me at least, it's very difficult. If it's not difficult for you, well, I'm very happy. For me, it is still, but it's a practice and I'm committing to it. Why? Because I want to have a relaxed relationship with myself, a relaxed communication with other people. And I noticed after this, I felt so good. I felt like I was relating to this person on an entirely different level. That was very, very helpful for me. It felt relieving. So that's why communication is so important to me. And it's an ongoing project. It's a practice, how I'd like to say. Let me jump into the last section because I already noticed that we're over time. How does shame block us each and every way? So I'd really love to know if you feel shame. Is that something that you do? I do. Sometimes. Especially when I feel that I have to appear very knowledgeable, that's when shame kicks in. Especially when I feel that that I'm trying to overrule my emotions, that I'm trying to just not feel them. Especially when I'm trying to work as fast as I possibly can to make more sense, to make more value. That's when I experience shame, and it's not a pleasant feeling. But I want to be honest here. And so it blocks me because I don't take the time to feel myself. I don't take the time to relate to other people in a quality manner because I'm trying to fulfill the next deadline. I'm trying to work as fast as I can. I'm trying to please other people. I am bypassing my emotions. I'm not recognizing when other people need something from me because my needs are so much more important. That's all of it, shame, all of it. And I know it's very difficult to talk about shame because I don't know, like most people think they don't have or don't experience shame. But what they actually do experience is the results of shame and how it maneuvers and flows into their lives. And it's very real. And I'm always cutting into the topic exactly out of that reason because I believe it's so important for us to talk about it. Just to make it clear that we are experiencing it. It's not something that we have to then feel downgraded about or yeah, I'm sick or anything, or like, okay, so I experience shame, hence I'm a bad person, or I'm broken, or I'm, damaged. I simply feel hurt sometimes. And to not feel hurt, I do very crazy things, such as create empires and earn shitload of money and trying to impress millions of people so that everybody likes me. Because inside, I don't feel liked. I don't feel likable. And that is how shame really blocks us every single step of the way. If I'm not aware and if I am hesitant to share that I'm actually experiencing that I'm actually trying to help others simply because I want others to like me, that is when I experience shame. For me to experience it, to acknowledge that I experience it first, is essential because then I can work with it. And so you see, the topic in today's session is always the same. I first have to acknowledge what's happening inside of me, whether that is about the quality of my relationship, or that is about the quality of my communication, or it is about how can I actually tackle shame and not just talk about it. Is to notice that it's happening and in what way is it happening and in what way is it influencing my life. If I am making it a habit, if I am making it a practice, a commitment to understand and dedicate some little fractions of my day to acknowledge that I experience these and that emotions, that I experience shame, that I experience difficulties in my life, and that I have very weird mechanisms in order to cope with them, then I have a lead. I have an actual tangible way how to work with it. Otherwise, I'm just bypassing it, just running. Can be fun to some degree, but I'm really pleasure hunting. That's really what it is. pleasure hunting so that I don't actually have to experience shame, running away from it as fast as I can. So that concludes today's session. I really want you to acknowledge at this point, not that you have shame, no, that's not what I want. I want you to acknowledge the quality of your relationship being the quality of your life, the quality of your communication making out a huge part of the quality of your relationship. So if you have it in you and you have someone that you feel you relate to, that is important to you, that you are connected, attached to, then it might be an interesting thing for you to check in with your communication. How are you communicating with this person? Are you listening to the person? Are you taking care of this person? Do you listen to their needs? And if so, how? And then just check in with everyone else that you are relating, everyone else that is important to you. How are they doing? Care more, stress less. That's a really, really tangible way to level up our relationships. At least that's the way that I see it. Guys, thank you so much for having stuck with me for a little more than 20 minutes. You know, usually these sessions should be around 10 to 15 minutes. I do not apologize for the length, but I really hope that you could take something away from this session. In any case, it is a pleasure for me to do these check-ins with you. It's a hard mission for me to share with the people who are connected to me what I believe can help all of us to experience more fulfilled lives, to experience higher qualities of relationships. And if you have anything to contribute, to share with me, to discuss about, I would really love to be connected with you. I recognize that every single time that I'm doing these sessions, there's more and more people dropping in. There's more and more people sharing with me what they think afterwards. So thank you very much. It is a huge pleasure to be connected with you, honestly. And you're making out the big part as to why I do the work that I do. So thank you very much. I really hope you have a blast. It's the end of November, so one more month, and we're actually closing in on the end of 2022. So thank you very much, guys. I wish you the best of blasts, of an incredible end of your 2022, and I'm looking forward to a couple more of these sessions. In any case, have an incredible week, and just all the fun to you, please. Have as much fun as you possibly can, okay? Bye.